Today. First, a question for you. Have you been a victim of a scam? We're being warned that there's been a steady increase in scams here in Kent, with criminals trying to exploit the cost of living crisis. And they include things like, I'm sure you've seen them, fake emails and texts claiming to be from Ofgem and offering discounts on energy bills. They know that people are aware of discounts coming down the tracks and they think they can intercept them. Just this month, the actor Adam Ricketts and his wife Katie revealed how he was conned out of thousands of pounds in a banking scam.
Hand on heart, I can say it now, they are better at this than I would ever be. You know, they are better at being able to do this than I think the system will ever be. Essentially, they were ringing me from the Barclays fraud line, its number itself, which I did check. I naively didn't know that you could ghost financial institutions.
He had 3 hours of hell. So we basically went through everything with a fine-tooth comb. And the reason we wanted to come on today is to basically try and help anybody, even one person, not get scammed. But the only thing he feels he could have done is hang up the phone. This guy was his best friend.
See how clever they are? Impersonating the number, being all friendly. Adam and Katie there were speaking to Good Morning Britain, and the good news is that in his case, he did get the money back. So we wanted to find out more. I spoke to Clive Phillips, operations manager at Kent Trading Standards, and I asked him how these banking scams actually work.
Well, this particular one was quite sophisticated. They seem to know an awful lot about Adam already. So there must have been some fraudulent acquiring of his personal data at some point. Similar accounts have been given where people have given their details to the fraudsters via websites and things like that, thinking they were giving the information to genuine banks or genuine businesses, and then they use that information to coax you into believing that they're legitimate banks or businesses.
It's very difficult, isn't it? Because in a way, how do you know? Somebody calls up, they sound proficient, they sound like they work for a bank, and then they go on to have your details, which you think only my bank would know about. At what point should the alarm bells ring?
Yeah, on this particular one, they are able to mask their telephone number as well, which I think is quite sophisticated.
Yeah.
Then, like I said, they knew an awful lot about Adam, so you could be absolutely forgiven for thinking that it was the bank in question.
Scary stuff. And I know that we saw a rise in this kind of fraud during the pandemic. We spoke about it, didn't we? And now we've got a different kind of problem, haven't we? Many are saying actually the cost of living crisis will mean that many criminals try to exploit people more. Do you think that's the case?
Yeah, in times of crisis, there are always active fraudsters preying on the vulnerable. The cost of living crisis is no different. And at the moment, we're all vulnerable. We've seen scams targeting people such as false energy company refunds. We ask people to be vigilant. To give you an example of a warning we're putting out tomorrow, which has been publicised by the BBC today, is fake emails purporting to be from Ofgem offering rebates on their energy. And basically, you click the link and it goes through to a malicious website, and you fill out your details, and this website is designed to steal your personal financial information, and then that financial information will be sold on. That could potentially be the type of thing that happened to Adam at some point. He's filled out information on a malicious website, or somebody's hacked his computer, or something more sinister. But obviously what we're saying is that the energy companies will deal, they already have your information, they will deal with your rebate internally. That you don't need to contact your energy company. You just certainly don't need to fill out an information sheet for them because they've already got your information. We've seen similar scams for council tax refunds, where you get a text say you're entitled to a council tax refund. You click the link and it goes through to malicious websites. The HMRC scam still knocking about, where you receive an automated telephone call to say that HMRC are investigating you, and you must press a certain number on your telephone button to speak to somebody, where then you get put through to somebody who takes some money off you. Otherwise, you face a fine. Things like that. There's lots of scams going around. But you're absolutely right, Anna. During times of crisis, the fraudsters are very active.
They're also very sophisticated, I've noticed now. Whereas in the past, you might receive an email that looked very shonky and it didn't have the right icons and stuff. Now, I think fraudsters have really worked on making it look like it's the right colour for the logo, for example, or your same bank details seem to be looking very similar. You need to check very carefully, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, most households have computers nowadays, and I've been shown how to clone a website as part of my job, so to speak. Yeah. And it's quite easy to clone a website. You can copy a website, the front part of it, very easily, and so therefore you're copying all the logos quite easily. Right. And all you'd need then is similar sounding, dodgy, malicious website which you can buy on the online and just drive people to your website, and you can be active until the agencies find out about you and close the website down long enough for them to be able to skim a lot of financial data from people. But the warning is always the same. Always go back to the source. So, for example, if your energy company is sending you an email which you're not sure about, then go to the actual website itself of the company via Google or something like that, and find the contact number for the official websites rather than following links. And certainly don't give your financial information to anybody, particularly people you know that have already got your financial information, they've already got your personal data. So always think twice, and if you're not sure, then speak to family members or give Citizens Advice a call and get their advice.
Really instructive to talk to Clive then. Clive Phillips is Operation Manager at Kent Trading Standards. Also useful is if